Hello my friend and welcome to this reading. My name is Oki and today I have a healing message from Goddess Isis for you. And as you can see, I have shuffled out 3 cards for you to choose from, but before I give you a close-up of these cards, let me talk a bit more about this reading. So what's interesting is on my last reading a couple of days ago, for one of the groups, the Goddess Isis came through and another group got the theme of ancient Egypt. So I felt inspired to lean a bit more into those energies and sense a bit more into them, and the Goddess Isis came through and wanted to give you this message. So as you might know, all of my readings are done very intuitively, and it's all about self-discovery and inner healing, and often also about shadow work. So let's find out what the Goddess Isis has to say to you today, and we have 3 cards. Card number 1, Magic and Ritual. Card number 2, Divine Sisterhood. And card number 3, Flower of Life. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this beautiful card, Magic and Ritual. Crafting sacred practice. And just from the image of this card, I'm getting that there's an invitation to form a sacred practice, to follow a specific spiritual path, and to bring more magic into your everyday life. That's the first message I'm getting from this card, but let's look which areas of your life actually might benefit from some healing. We have Dream Sweet, Sleep Deep, and Abundance. Okay, so maybe you lost some sleep worrying over your abundance, or worrying about having ends meet, or supporting yourself. And I think those two are definitely connected. You're maybe working a lot because you feel a lack of abundance or prosperity, or a lack of the things you want and maybe even need. And that's why you have to work hard and you have to worry, or you feel like you have to worry, and you're not sleeping well. So I think for you, when it comes to ritual, it would be very good to have a ritual around rest and sleep. And remember that rest isn't only just sleeping, it could also be taking a break from anything that's just too much or overwhelming. It could be taking a break from technology, maybe even social engagements, or whatever you need. Maybe you are suffering from sensory overwhelm and need to get into a more calm and quiet space. All those things could be things to consider in which areas of your life you need more rest and sleep. And then I think the abundance is something you can draw in through your sacred practice through your magic. Okay, let's find out more how you can do that, or what exactly the magic and the ritual is that you're supposed to do. But I see it's her arms spread wide. I think there are gifts and blessings coming in for you. You just have to find a way to make space for them in your life. Okay. Queen of Wands, 7 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 4 of Swords, and the High Priestess. Interesting. Yeah, we got a lot of swords. So, Yeah, the 4 of Swords is a card that's often associated with rest. Especially rest after or before stepping into a task or a struggle, or preparing for battle, so to speak, or returning home from battle and then taking the rest. It is very associated with knighthood. So I don't even know why I said that, but maybe it's a clue. And with these other sword cards I'm getting, there's definitely, as I mentioned before, some worry or some thoughts that are holding you back. And the 7 of Swords, of course, can stand for some manipulation coming from outside, but it could also be your own deceptions, your own thought concepts that are not exactly supporting you, are not exactly helpful, where you're basically sabotaging yourself in a way, probably through your thoughts and worries. And maybe also the lack of sleep is making you a bit confused, or your thoughts and your mind very tired, and maybe you can't think clearly, and there's some confusion coming in through that. And yeah, you have definitely been hurt in the past, and you will need to heal that. Or maybe that's a blessing that's coming through, that this is being healed now. And I find this 3 of Swords especially interesting. It always reminds me of the movie The Fountain. I don't know if you've seen that movie. There's a couple, and there's basically, I think it's 3 episodes throughout different eras, throughout different times. So it kind of illustrates the karmic nature of relationships that we can have. And I think there's something about some karmic wounds that are coming up now and are ready to be healed. And yeah, and the reason why it reminds me of that movie is one of the scenes is the guy is a conquistador, and the woman is a noble woman of Spain, and she gives him some of her hair as a keepsake while he travels to the New World. And I'm getting the message now that this hurt, or these karmic wounds, have to do with a promise that was broken, or maybe even betrayal by a loved one. And yeah, that is central for your healing and for improving your productivity and your cycle of rest and productivity, and sooner or later also your abundance. But I think these steps have to come first, and then the abundance can come in. We also have the Queen of Wands and the High Priestess framing both sides. So I think it also has a lot to do with stepping into your power. Stepping into your power and unlocking your inner wisdom, your inner knowledge, and using your intention and your passion, your power to create a better life for yourself. And actually, I want to have a quick look into the book to see if we've missed something about this card, Magic and Ritual. And so the book says, Magic and Ritual, crafting sacred practice. Effect in the external world can be created through inner practice. Magic and ritual can support your divine path now in the physical world, and you are encouraged to enhance your power with regular practice. Yeah, we spoke about your power. The results that you experience will encourage you to continue with the practice as you grow in power, grace, love, ability, and wisdom. We also spoke about your inner wisdom. And apply your inner beauty to transform your outer world. And when it comes to the exact practice or the exact rituals you're supposed to do, I think you will have to use your own intuition, your own inner wisdom to create those rituals for yourself. And I think, as I mentioned before, a good place to start would be creating more space to rest in your life. I think rest would be very, very healing for you now. And exploring those things, those thought patterns that are holding you back. Trying to find out where you might be self-sabotaging. And actually, I think your self-sabotage also has to do with not allowing you to rest and spend time to go within and seek inner knowledge. Yeah, okay, so let me get one more card. That's already it. Fairy of the Green World. The natural world needs you. With the number 44. Yeah, I think that you will eventually unlock great abundance, but the path to it is not a very straight one, because you have to really take care of yourself, heal yourself, make time to rest, make time to explore your inner world, make time to connect to the divine and maybe also to nature. And only then should you try to increase your inflow of money or any other abundance you want to draw into your life. Yeah, so I think that's the message, to try to make more space for rest and unlock your power that way. And maybe also connect to nature. Maybe nature is very soothing to you. Or the color green or blue, maybe those things are soothing to you. Okay, let me sum up this reading in an affirmation for you. I make space for more rest in my life. I create rituals that will help me connect to my inner wisdom, to my inner power, and to my inner divinity. And I trust that this will ultimately lead me to abundance. Of course, you could also come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, let me know in the comments. Also share your story if you would like. And thank you so much for spending this time with me. See you next time. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card, Divine Sisterhood, Community of the Spiritual Sisters and Brothers of the Light. I'm getting a lot of loving energy, and I think the healing that will happen for you has to do with your community and your relationships, and maybe also with your romantic relationships, or with your integrating your male and your female side, because of course here's a male and a female figure and they're attaching hands. To me it looks like in a peace offering or some sort of agreement. And with a goddess Hathor watching over them, which of course is a goddess of love and fertility, femininity. She's sometimes also depicted as a cow giving life, giving nurturing through the milk of the cow. So I'm feeling a lot of healing, nurturing, peaceful energies already. But let's find out which areas of your life your healing will take place in. Which areas of your life? Which areas of your life? Creativity and best possible decision. And look at the picture on this card. It's like the clouds are opening up and this person is receiving divine inspiration. It also has the number 33 on it, which is sometimes called the master number. It's like you're mastering your skill through divine inspiration. That's what I'm getting through this card. And with the best possible decision cards, I think maybe there's a situation where you are having difficulty making a decision about, or you're worried that your decision will be the wrong decision, or maybe it seems like there are no good possibilities, only choosing maybe the least terrible decision or something like that. And I'm getting the message of encouragement to trust that you will be able to make the best possible decision, or the situation will have the best possible outcome for you. Okay. Let's get some tarot cards and see if we can get some more information about this healing. 7 of Wands. Knight of Pentacles, King of Cups, and 9 of Swords. Actually, I want to change them around like this, because I feel those two cards relate to the best possible decision. As I said before, I think you might be worried that you're not able to make a good decision. There seems to be a lot of worries you have about this situation, whatever this is. And I think it also makes you feel like it's you against the rest of the world, when actually it might not be. Actually, it might be possible to find some allies, to find some support, and to to make a better decision. Yeah, and I feel this Knight of Pentacles is actually the friend you need right now that is going to help you in this situation. And I feel one message here is to take a slow and measured approach. And I'm hearing it will become clear. The decision or the opportunity that you want to choose will reveal itself soon. Don't give in to the fear, don't give in to the worry, don't make any hasty decisions. That is one message. And interestingly, on this card it also says, by all above and all below, let me connect, let creativity flow. So I think connection is very important for you right now, whether it's with your brothers and sisters in the community or connecting to the divine, connecting to your own ability to make decisions. And with this, again, I'm getting the message of being very grounded. I'm getting a strong energy of grounding. Grounding, taking a deep breath, reevaluating the situation. And waiting for the right solution to come. Waiting for the divine inspiration to come. And even with King of Cups, I'm getting the message not to let your emotions drag you into instability or into feeling pressured to act on them. Be aware of your emotions, yes. And maybe also creatively express them, but for the decision-making part that you are asking about, I feel you are asking about it because it's very specific, this message. It might be better to make a bit of a more, not rational, but more thoughtful choice. And actually I want to get 2 more tarot cards. Yeah, that one and this one. King of Swords and 2 of Swords. Yeah, it's really reinforcing the things that I've already mentioned, that you are not seeing the decision, the best possible decision or opportunity now, but you will soon. Just take some time to gain clarity over the situation. And ask for help if you need to. And I'm hearing now that you can know that you can always ask for guidance from the goddess Isis or the goddess Hathor or your guides, your personal guides, or your personal deities that you believe in. You can always ask for guidance and support. You don't have to do it all by yourself. And maybe you can't right now because you can't see clearly, because you are worried, because you feel that you have to struggle and fight your way through. And also I'm hearing open up to more creative solutions. Sometimes the ones that seem like the obvious choice aren't really the best solutions. Sometimes maybe you need a bit of creativity to find your path. And maybe also trust more in divine guidance. Okay, let's get one last card. Yep, this one is falling out. Ghost of the past. The past returns for a time. Okay, interesting. I'm getting the idea that you have to re-evaluate some past decisions. Or maybe revise some decisions that you made in the past. Or maybe something that you thought you had, a chapter that you thought you had closed or finished up is like opening up now again, and you have to take care of the loose ends. Something like that. But it will only be for a time. Yeah, maybe you need to close a chapter before you can open a new one. And I think the new chapter will have to do with healing your relationships, getting into new, better relationships with friends, with community, with family, or elevating the relationships you already have to a new level. And making more space for creativity. Okay, so let me sum up this reading in an affirmation for you. I open up to divine guidance. I trust that the best possible decision for all involved is out there. I use my creativity and ask for help to find my path forward. Of course, you could also come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much for spending this time with me. Please consider liking and subscribing, and see you next time. Thank you. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. You chose this card, Flower of Life, Divine Creativity and Manifestation. And maybe you're familiar with this geometric pattern called the Flower of Life that actually describes how all creation follows a certain pattern. But in this instance of Flower of Life, it looks more like the lotus flower. And the lotus flower, of course, in many spiritual traditions is an important symbol for something growing out of the mud and coming up and opening up to the sunlight and coming to bloom, and how beauty basically is created in the unseen, muddy, dark underground, and then it comes up. So I think the healing message that's coming in for you is about your ability to create and manifest things in this world. And maybe a side note about manifestation, because a lot of times you hear people say, oh, just think that it is true and then it will be true. Just act as if it were true and then it will be true. And of course, like that could work. I mean, experiment with it if you want to. However, there's a bit of a, let's call it, dark side to it, because it's often ignored that in many instances it's not that easy. In many instances, the reason why your manifestation skills won't work isn't because you're bad at manifestation, it's because there's some underlying things that need to be healed, or that you might need help with, or that you might to explore more and learn about more, or have a specific strategy to actually manifest. That is will require more than just imagining it or visualizing it. And I myself actually had a bit of a bad experience with this concept when I was starting to have chronic fatigue symptoms. I'm diagnosed now with chronic fatigue syndrome, and in the beginning it wasn't really clear what the issue was, and it was pretty bad because I actually lost all my friends over it. Because people thought I was just being lazy or didn't care when I had to cancel plans or leave early or stay at home or not have the energy to help them or something like that. And I try to explain to people what my difficulties were, even though I didn't have a diagnosis yet. And actually the worst people were those spiritual people who were like, oh, mind over matter, you just, if you didn't think you were sick, you wouldn't be. And I actually try to ignore my symptoms, and I try to sleep less and do more and exercise. And if you know anything about chronic fatigue, you know that pushing yourself and overexerting yourself actually is like the worst thing you could do. It will make all your symptoms worse. But yeah, I felt like those people were telling me that it's my own fault and that I'm just being stupid or not trying hard enough or something. So please don't be that person. Don't be that person to other people, but also don't be that person to yourself. So if your manifestations don't work, there might be a more deeper underlying issue that you have to tackle, and maybe you need help, or maybe you need information. I mean, I needed first of all the proper diagnosis. I needed strategies. I needed to optimize my food intake, and so on and so forth. So and also sometimes, healing doesn't necessarily mean getting rid of all the symptoms. I mean, I still have chronic fatigue syndrome. Some of my symptoms have gotten better, some have even gotten worse. But anyway, for me, my healing is mainly about being able to have a enjoyable and meaningful life despite having symptoms. So sometimes a healing path isn't just straight getting what you want. So keep that in mind. Okay, that was quite the long tangent, but I feel it's important to mention that because I hear that a lot, this people making it sound so easy when it's actually not, and when it might actually require a lot of deep work and a lot of changes and adaptations in your life. Okay, but let's see what areas of your life the goddess Isis wants to help you with. Dream sweet and sleep deep. Interesting, we also had that in group 1. And boss best possible decision. Interesting, because we only also had that in group 2. So again, very connected, all the 3 different groups, and though the message is slightly different here, I think. In this case, I feel there's something that you need to put to rest. It's maybe not about your own. Maybe it is about your sleep. Maybe you will sleep better once you put something to rest, because that's a message I'm hearing very clearly, that you have to put something to rest, and putting it to rest will be the best possible decision. I'm not sure what that thing actually is. Maybe get one more card. Maybe we get a clue about what area of life this is actually talking about. Okay, this one. Confidence. And this image on the card is very beautiful. So it looks like someone is doing a ritual or giving a ritual offering or a smoke offering to maybe a deity, or maybe she's meditating. Yeah, put it to rest, I hear again. Be confident that it is the best possible decision. And I think, even though I don't really know what this issue is, but I think you have something in mind that you know in your heart of hearts would be best to just let it go and move on from it. But something is holding you back from it. And this message is telling me, move on from it. There will be new possibilities to create something new, to create something even better. That's what I'm hearing and feeling. And allow yourself to be guided by your spirits, by your deities, to move to something higher and better. Yeah, maybe develop a spiritual practice that will make you more confident in your decisions, because you will be able to see more clearly and to listen to your inner voice more clearly. Okay, let's get some tarot cards. There's 2 that stuck to the table, so let's take them. The 10 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles. Interesting, yeah, very positive cards of everlasting happiness and really established luxury, abundance, financial independence. So really all you could wish for, right? So yeah, move on from whatever that is and create new opportunities for yourself, or be open for new opportunities for you to come into your life. All you need is confidence to do so. Confidence, but not, of course, hybris. Is that a word? Where you're becoming arrogant and sort of ruining it all by being greedy and arrogant. Okay, 4 of Swords, 8 of Swords. Yeah, again the message. You feel that you're stuck, or you have to hold on to something, but you don't have to. It's actually just holding you back. And you need to let it go and free yourself from it. And from this card I'm getting, maybe it's maybe there's some grief that you haven't worked through. And if that is the case, I'm very sorry for your loss, and please, of course, take your time with that and really allow yourself to work through it. But with the other cards I'm getting, maybe it's just the loss of something that was meant to go. And maybe you're grieving it even though you're meant to move on from it. Okay, let's get one more card. Oh, actually two in this case. Poe. And mend a broken heart, fairy. So we have Poe, time for change, to learn something new, to use technology and gadgets with wisdom. Yeah, time to learn something new, time for change. Yeah, move on, just move on from it. I'm getting that same message over and over again. So if you have any questions about whether or not it's the right decision to move on, yes, it is. And broken heart, fairy, healing from heartache. So maybe you are very too attached to whatever it is. You have to let go, and it's a bit heartbreaking to move on from it, or it's a bit painful. But the mend a broken heart fairy is here to tell you you will heal from that. You will get over it. And in this case, I don't necessarily think it's a relationship that you're getting over. Could be, but maybe it's something else. Maybe you had a certain plan that didn't work out, or you wanted a certain job that didn't work out, or any kind of project, or you wanted to move to a certain place and it didn't happen, or maybe it's actually something positive. Maybe you got an opportunity you couldn't say no to, even though in your heart of hearts you felt that it was a wrong step for you. Could also be that, but whatever it is, now is the time to move on. And the healing message here is that Isis will really help you to create something new, but you have to let go of the old things first. Okay, this is a very clear message, but let me sum it up in an affirmation for you. I step forward with confidence, letting go of anything that's holding me back, and trusting in my spiritual guidance that it will lead me to better possibilities, to great happiness and abundance. Of course, you could also come up with your own affirmations. If you do so, please let me know in the comments. Please consider liking and subscribing. And thank you so much for spending this time with me. And see you next time.